Hey everybody, this is Dylan. I've been meaning to make a video explaining exactly what Well Your World is, what it means to me for a year or something like that. I've recorded the video 3 times and it's just been really hard for me to put into words explaining what it means, what Well Your World means. So I decided, I don't know what took me so long to think of this, to ask the group what they thought of Well Your World means. And I got like 50 amazing answers, and it's really hard for me to narrow it down, but I want to try to go through some of them. But let me start by explaining what it started out to mean for me and why I started doing Well Your World. For me, it was that in my real life, I had a lot of trouble finding people that were on the same page as me with the food, the environment, and the animals too. When I started as a vegan, I was only really had parts of this thing figured out, and it took me a few years to really realize that the food choices I was making were not just affecting my health, they were affecting the climate, which is very related to the work that I'd been doing for the last 10 years. With solar, and then also the animals, which I didn't start out as vegan for ethical reasons, and it developed all on its own and in a really interesting way. So Well Your World to me was just a way for me to stop trying to get people in my local real life to get on the same page as me, because it is like, it's not that easy. And so it was a way for me to have an outlet. I was muted, I felt muted. I felt like I needed to stop talking about these things, and it was having a bit of a psychological impact on me. I was feeling depressed. I was feeling like I didn't have anybody to express this to that really truly wanted to hear it. And so I thought that making videos would be a more effective way for me to spread the word, because the people that are interested in my message will come to me, and I don't have to go searching for them in the same way that I had been here in Phoenix, for example. So Well Your World to me meant capturing these 3 ideas, the animals, health, the climate, and the planet, capturing them into one sort of, channel, if you will, for the YouTube stuff, but a community of like-minded individuals that find value in coming together over these particular, I guess, pillars of who we are. And then it just sort of evolved from there. I didn't know exactly what direction my videos would go. I didn't know if they would focus more on health, as they obviously have, or more on some of the food work that I was doing with growing food and doing the urban farm stuff, or climate, because my entire background had been producing energy with solar panels to have the least amount of negative impact on our climate, on our planet, on the air that we're breathing. And then it was during that time that I was doing all of my solar work that I realized, wow, animal agriculture has way more impact on the climate than I had any idea about, through films like Cowspiracy. Anyway, that was what it started out as. But it has become something much stronger, I think, because of the community that we've created on Facebook. And it's been incredibly powerful, and it's been very freeing for me to be able to put my message into words, into videos, and then have people actually come together that agree. That is not all that easy, and many of you have reinforced the fact that we know it's not that easy to find like-minded individuals in our local communities. It's just really hard. We are a bit of a minority still, and while that momentum is obviously growing, it's not there yet. It's not, and It doesn't need to be in order for us to feel fulfilled, in order for us to stay on message and continue to express ourselves. Have I given up on it in real life? No, but I have found that my local, in real life relationships are a lot less strained when I'm keeping some of these things that are very important to me, to myself, and to our virtual Well Your World community, which I obviously hope someday won't be as virtual as it is. I would love to push our virtual community into our real life and do something where we're getting together. Anyway, I digress. That's not what this video is about. So I want to jump right into some comments to show you what Well Your World means to so many of us, because I'm always saying join the Well Your World Facebook group if you haven't already, but I want you to see why. And so I'm going to just start reading some comments. Christina says, we have control over so little in life. For me, Well Your World means taking control of what I can and making the best choice to nourish myself and my family. That's beautiful. Terry says, Well Your World starts with me and getting my act together, and then reaches out to family, friends, neighbors, and the world. Let's spread the word. World, she said, let's spread the world. Maybe she meant word, but I love the play on words. Kim says, it means falling in love with eating nutritious plant foods and living your life pain and sickness free. Beautiful. Starla, it's like paying it forward. It begins with being a better, healthier me that in turn, by example and action, creates a better planet and connection with others. To Well Your World is contagious. It is a forward-rolling moment towards better in everything. Thank you for helping us get there. Amazing. Michael says, I have a friend who's in AA. He's doing really well with it and always explains what his meetings are like and the support and release that it gives him. I love that word, release. I never could understand this, as I've never had a problem with alcohol. For the short time that I have been a member of the Well Your World group, I can finally understand that feeling of being supported and being able to vent if needed by people who totally understand. I don't think overweight people get as much support as alcoholics would. I think it's harder for people to understand, as you are addicted to a substance that you cannot live without, food. Well Your World is my AA. It's through this group that I'm able to not only stay on track, but also enjoy the process and in turn enjoy my life much more than I ever have before. That's what Well Your World means to me. Thank you, everyone. That was amazing. Wendy, I'm new to all of this, and for the first time, I feel like I have a chance to get the weight off and live a healthy life. I don't feel so alone, and now it doesn't seem impossible. Thanks so much for all you're doing. Robbie, for me, Well Your World is a community-based and friendly collective pursuit to health. It's all about support and encouragement, which is lacking in our global society when it comes to health and wellness. I've gained so much confidence in a whole food, plant-based, SOS-free lifestyle from seeing other people's examples. It's about adopting an optimal diet from a knowledgeable foundation rather than restriction or a quick fix. It's about helping each other be healthy and radiating that out as an example despite our tragic global health crisis. Oh. I'm getting emotional. Colleen, it means I will be able to maintain my independence as I age and help save our planet one person at a time. Amazing. Catherine, it's hard to say in a few words what Well Your World means to me. I'm still in the middle of my journey, but so far I've lost 114 pounds and have cured illness since last year, and the one place I find myself coming to for comfort, inspiration, and always a safe place is Well Your World. I could go on, but I won't right now. I don't know y'all in person, but I still love and appreciate my group so much. Ellen says, Well Your World really makes this way of eating seem not scary, not as hard as we make it out to be, not as dangerous as others tell us it is, not so serious all the time, and actually maybe even kind of fun. Marla says, Well Your World means to me loving myself enough to take the best care of myself that I can, including through nutrition, respecting all other life and having compassion for all living creatures while being a positive example for others and playing my part in making the world a better place. Beautiful. Renee says, well, your world has meant to me that I'm not alone in this journey. Many friends and family do not make this an easy road, but having a community who truly understands and gets you has been so wonderful. Sue says, well, your world keeps me motivated. Also helps validate my lifestyle. I've been SOS free and plant-based for 1 year on September 18th, and I am 68 years old and pain-free and I've lost 72 pounds. So happy to have like-minded people to communicate with. Pat says, it means my allergies went away, my skin cleared up, my arthritis went away, I no longer suffer heartburn, no constipation, no bad breath, no migraines, no water retention, no belly aches, no falling asleep at my desk, no trouble sleeping at night, no nightmares, no guilt for the animals that suffer because of me. I also look better from losing weight, which makes me feel more self-confident and happier all around, which causes a happier and much lighter environment because I spread more positive energy around than before. That is perfect. Misty says, well, your world means to make the most healthy decisions possible so that the world I live in is fabulous. If I am as healthy as can be, then I will feel terrific, happy, be a better mom, grandmother, and friend. I've already accomplished this by being whole food, plant-based, SOS free for 17 months and am so grateful. Bob says, well, your world means safety, hope, respect, creativity, dedication, and inspiration, especially on the difficult days. Awesome. Michelle, it means to eat as well as possible with starch, potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice, beans, vegetables, fruit, move as much as possible, get some sun, breathe fresh air, and enjoy life. Michael says, to me, well, your world means following and promoting the known path to wellness from the internal to the external. What we put into ourselves matters, but so does what we put out into the world. By following a whole food plant diet, not only are we reducing overall suffering in the world as a whole, we aren't ingesting that suffering either and avoiding the inflammation and bad health that it results. Thank you. Michelle, well, your world means to me in a word, community, which means everything. Ashley says, well, your world's an awesome community that makes this transition feel less scary and isolating. It's empowering and inspiring to try to make the world well, one person at a time. Amazing. Olivia says, this group is so helpful, my only support, so very important for me to stay plugged in with you all. Greatly appreciate it. I love you all. Big thank you to each and every one. Holly says, well, your world is my tribe. I feel surrounded by humans that truly care about our health and our planet. We share the knowledge of true health for our bodies and sustainability for our environment. Amazing. Katie, it's funny. I'm new to this group. I started watching Dylan's YouTube videos a few weeks ago, and when I read the name Well Your World, I didn't understand the phrasing. I read well as in a well that holds water, so Well Your World sounded like an action, to well something, like to mine or to dig, but I actually think there's something about that suits this group. It's like digging down deep inside yourself and drawing on the natural resources you have there to accomplish what you need to do. And what we all need to do is shed the excess stuff, weight, poisonous food, unsustainable material lifestyles, and get back to a more natural state, to the best version of ourselves. We need to tap into our internal spring to well our world. Whew. Nicole says, well, your world means so much. A healthy whole food plant diet, paying attention to how my choices as an individual also affect the planet and the innocent animals that have had to suffer in the name of food for many. I believe we can all make a difference. This group is great support in helping one another get through hurdles and make better choices. We together can share in this healthy lifestyle, and we can leave the world a better place for our future generations to come. So perfect. That's just a few of the comments that I got when I posted this to the group. It's been really remarkable watching the group really come into itself. In the beginning, there were people, you know, it just says in any Facebook group, people that respond to posts or comment on posts a bit too quickly and with a bit of a negative undertone that can make people feel a little defeated, especially when we are most vulnerable as we make these really dramatic changes in our lives. And this is when we need support. This is when we need people that we know we're asking a question that these veterans in the group have already heard before, or a concept that we ourselves don't understand, but we know we're asking it because we think others in the group do understand it. And sometimes in other groups, you get that, search the group, or, you know, why don't you know this yet? Because we all do. And Well Your World is a place where we're meeting people right where they are, and we're helping them to move to the level that they are seeking. And that to me is so unique and heartwarming. And it's made, for me, like going back to the group, always just such an enjoyable opportunity. And I'm so encouraged because although I couldn't put it in words for a really long time, I feel like we have. And I feel like Well Your World has become everything that I imagined that it would. And I think there's a really long way to go in front of us to continue to develop it and, you know, offshoot into these different harebrained ideas that I'm taking on with some of the things I mentioned in my 30-day goals video last week. But we're all together doing it. Anyway, that's it. I hope you have joined the group and will join the group if you haven't. Like the video if you enjoyed this message, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this message. And you can continue to support me as I transition to making this my full-time job by going to wellyourworld.com and learning more about my live cooking show. We're doing at least 2 live cooking shows together a month where you're able to talk to me and interact and ask questions. We're getting such incredible questions that come in both by email in advance and as we're going along during the show, that made it just like so fun. I really enjoy doing them. I have something like half a dozen episodes up now that you'll have access to, obviously, as well as all those going forward. Thank you everybody for the ongoing support. I'll see you back in the group and on the next video. I love you. Bye.